People say, do I have to have a big following like Cole and Savannah? We don't. We don't have any kind of following like Cole and Savannah. And you might say, oh, well, 50,000 followers on Instagram's big. Well, maybe to some, but we had 200, maybe 300 Facebook friends when we started.
Yeah, you don't have to have a big social media following to be successful. You just have to recruit somebody with a big social media following instead. I cannot with this. How can he take himself seriously? How can you say, oh, you don't need a lot of followers when you have literally strategically recruited somebody with arguably the most followers on the internet? Hello and welcome back to the channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name's Hannah, but actually this is probably not the best video for you to start with if you're just stumbling across my channel, because I'm back today with even more info on the LABRANT scam situation. This is a part 2, a continuation off of the video that I posted about a month ago about Cole and Savannah LABRANT's new money-making grift where they are preying on their followers, specifically their Christian followers who share the same faith as them. And I don't mean to be annoying and be like, go watch that video first, but in this case, it really is necessary. The first video I made about the LABRANTs is definitely required viewing in order for this video to make any sense at all. So I will link it below if you haven't seen it. Pop over there, give that a watch, and then we'll meet back here when you're done. But the long story short recap is that the LABRANTs, Cole and Savannah, these mega influencers, millions of followers on social media across YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, they have recently joined a multi-level marketing company called NeoLife. And they're not posting publicly about this opportunity anywhere on social media. They're keeping it very secretive, very under wraps. They're only releasing information about it through these private Zoom call meetings where they're pitching the NeoLife opportunity to hundreds of their followers in order to make money off of those followers using faith manipulation as their main strategy. It's really gross, it's really scammy, it's really concerning to watch, and the purpose of the last video I made and this video is to educate the public so that you are aware of it and you can protect yourself from it. They're keeping everything very under wraps right now, and they're not providing all the information necessary for you to make an informed decision on if you're going to join their team and sign up for NeoLife. So that's what I'm here for, and that's what I'm hoping we can accomplish through these videos. If you don't know who the LABRANTs are, or what kind of content they make, or how they became so popular, or what an MLM, NeoLife, or faith manipulation is, I covered all of that in extreme detail in the first video. I'm not going to reiterate those things here for the sake of time. But the reason I'm bringing you a part 2 today is because shortly after Cole hosted that first initial Zoom call with his coaches, Allan and Nicole, to pitch 900 of his followers this opportunity, they hosted a second Zoom call that I was also able to get access to, and it's somehow more cringy, more shady, and exposes more of exactly what their motives are and what exactly is going on here. Cole, Allan, and Nicole received a lot of questions from people after the first Zoom meeting asking for clarification on the details of this opportunity. So the three of them decided to host a second Zoom call that is Q&A style, where they're addressing some of the most commonly asked questions they received. And the purpose of this was to provide people that clarification they were craving before they agreed to sign up for NeoLife and to join their team. Just a refresher on the cast of characters, Allan and Nicole Blaine, they've been in NeoLife for over a decade. They recruited Cole and Savannah LABRANT, the influencers, and now they're coaching Cole and Savannah on how to recruit a bunch of their own people underneath them, aka their followers. But those followers, they're kind of confused and concerned, and they've seen a lot of red flags, and they're not fully sure about this opportunity yet. They've got a lot of questions. So the second Zoom call is intended to address those questions, with the goal being to push these people over the line of actually committing to it and signing up for it. The answers to these questions are immensely revealing. That's why I'm making an entire video about it. To me, it's starting to feel like Allan and Nicole are the true ringleaders in this whole operation. They're kind of emerging as the villains in my eyes. Like, they saw the LABRANTs and their huge social media followings with dollar signs in their eyes, and they thought to themselves, if only we can get these people on our team, they have access to millions of other people that we could also get on our team for our own financial gain. In my opinion, Allan and Nicole, they're the puppeteers orchestrating this whole ordeal. And I did briefly mention feeling like that in the last video too, but that's even more solidified after watching today's Zoom call and seeing how they answered these questions. So I'm really curious how all of this is going to come off to you as well and what you think about it too. We're going to jump into this Zoom call, but first I'd love to give a moment for the sponsor of today's video, Typology. Typology is a line of French-made skincare made with short, minimalistic formulas. Their products are vegan, cruelty-free, and made with over 80% ingredients of natural origin. I've been using and loving Typology for 9 months now, which means in every single video you've seen of me since last July, I've been using Typology tinted skincare instead of makeup. specifically the tinted serum, which you've heard me rave about many, many times. I think I'm on my 3rd bottle of that at this point. It's a repeat purchase of mine. But I don't get fully ready like this every day. Most of the time I'm just working from home and I just want a fresh, clean, no makeup look. In which case I'll take the 9-ingredient moisturizer and I mix it with a couple of the glow drops and apply this all over my face. The moisturizer is fragrance free, which my skin loves, and it just melts right in. There's no greasy feeling to it. And the glow drops are enriched with vitamin C and aloe vera, and this gives your skin a bright, glowing appearance without makeup. I'll even add a couple extra glow drops to my cheeks and to my nose, and it gives a really pretty highlighter effect. Then I brush my eyebrows and my lashes into place with the Lash and Brow Serum. This is formulated with pea peptides and castor oil to help them strengthen and grow. And finally, I finish off with the tinted lip oil. The shade Luminous Glow is my absolute favorite. It's so sparkly and beautiful, and it's made with squalane, jojoba oil, and vitamin E, so it's very nourishing and hydrating without being sticky like a lip gloss would. And even though there's no makeup involved in this routine at all, I still feel really put together and awake for the day, and my skin feels very radiant and hydrated. And I feel good about the active ingredients that are going to be on my skin all day, knowing that there's both the immediate visual effects and the long-term benefits as well. If you're on a fresh face skincare journey, I cannot recommend Typology highly enough. I'm so confident you're going to love it just as much as I have these past 9 months. To start exploring Typology products, you can click the link in the description box below, and if you shop over $40 using that link in the next week, then Typology is going to give you a bottle of their Bi-Phase eye makeup remover for free. Thank you so much, Typology, for your continued support of the channel. All right, let's get into this. Just like last time, I'm going to show you the Zoom call. We're going to watch it together, and every so often I'm going to pause and interject and give my thoughts because we all know I have a lot of them. I'll also be transparent and tell you that this was a 50-minute Zoom call that I cut down to be 30 minutes long. I removed any sections where they were talking in circles or repeating answers to questions or going on tangents, so I'm just going to show you the most important parts of this call. Here we go, let's do it.
Appreciate you guys hopping on. We just wanted to go over a few things because this is kind of new for us, figuring out how to communicate and most effectively chat with so many of you guys. I know on that first Zoom there was a lot of people, and that was from one Instagram story, and there's a lot more that we just haven't even been able to get to. And really between myself, Allan, and Nicole, we have a little bit of a team under us who helped us facilitate and manage things. It's really us at the top in regards to trying to build this team out as effectively as we can.
Here's a reminder from the first video that Cole posted one Instagram story slide onto his story for 24 hours, and that resulted in over 900 people joining that first Zoom call to hear about this money-making opportunity. And from there, over 400 of those people expressed interest in actually signing up and joining. Almost half of the people in attendance on the call said, yeah, I'm in, I want to join. And I'm pausing here because this is a clear admission from him that the LABRANTs and the Blaines are at the top of this whole operation. They are leading the team and they're looking to bulk up their downline with as many of Cole and Savannah's social media followers as possible. That's why we're all here today.
Fortunately, we're in a position where we've built out a bit of the team, but we know that there's a lot of questions that we just weren't able to get to. So we're going to answer kind of the 12 most important ones, the ones that we saw coming through the emails. And even myself, I told Allan that I've known Allan for about 2 years now. And I was like, Allan, it took me several conversations with you to even get to a point of joining. So we can't expect so many of these other people to be on board from one Zoom call and not so many conversations. So again, this is a learning curve for us.
As we know, Allan and Nicole have been in NeoLife for over a decade. They're looking for some new blood. And I speculated in the first video that I bet there were multiple conversations between the Blaines and the LABRANTs where they had to convince the LABRANTs to join. Specifically, I said I was pretty confident that Allan and Nicole played on their Christianity the most, and they used faith manipulation as a heavy tactic to get the LABRANTs to agree to it. And I'm pretty sure that's a big reason why they ended up joining. And what he just said was confirmation that, yeah, they did have several meetings. This did take quite a bit of convincing. And of course it did, because MLMs are a really hard sell. It's really hard to convince people to join because MLMs are pretty illogical. You're telling me that I have to pay hundreds of dollars to sign up for this thing where I take these weird supplements that I've never heard about before, and then I have to go harass everybody in my life to buy these from me, but I'm not going to make good money doing that. How I'm really going to make good money is recruiting people. So now I've got to become a salesperson and I've got to pitch this this opportunity to people to try and desperately convince them to also join NeoLife, to also sell the products and recruit their own people. Like, no, that's not enticing, I've got to say. It's no wonder that the Blaines had to chip away at the LABRANTs to convince them to join, and my best guess is that they manipulated their Christianity and convinced them that this is something God was calling them to do, and that this is a way that they would be able to help so many others, which we all know is a fallacy. MLM harms people far more than it helps people.
We're going to be trying to really get more personal with as many of you guys as we can who are seriously interested about this, because again, this isn't a get to know Cole kind of thing. You guys maybe know me, maybe you don't. You follow me, so you know me as well as you think you might through social media. But this isn't like you know, we have other things on social media that are about entertainment and about fun and about getting to know Cole or Savannah or the LABRANTs. This is really a financial opportunity and a health opportunity. It's something that we genuinely really do use in our house. Like if I could pick my computer up, I actually could, but I would walk into our pantry and I'll just show you like these are products that we're actually using because it is actually benefiting our health. But on top of that, it's not just benefiting our health, but it is an incredible financial opportunity as well, under a Christian organization.
Something about this little section bothers me, but I can't quite put my finger on it. It's the part where he's like, you might think you know me through social media, but this isn't just a way to hang out and get close to me. This is a legitimate business opportunity to make money. It just gives me the ick. And I think what it is that he so obviously knows that he has the upper hand in this situation. He knows that he can use his substantial social media following to his advantage to further himself in the MLM. He understands to a degree that people are attending these meetings because of that parasocial relationship they have with him, and he's exploiting that parasocial relationship. These are people who have followed the LABRANTs for years through all of their big life milestones, their marriage, the birth of their babies. They feel like they know him, like they're friends with him, like they've seen him grow up in a sense, and they might think of this as a way to get close to this influencer who almost feels like a celebrity to them and be friends with him in real life. He understands this dynamic and his role within it, and he knows that that's going to make it easier to convince some of these people to join his NeoLife team, not because NeoLife is actually a good business opportunity or they're actually interested in NeoLife itself, but because they're swooning over who Cole is as a public figure and they're looking to work closely with him as a member of his NeoLife team.
So Allan and I, we were literally just on a Zoom before this with the CEO, which is really cool that the CEO is so personable. It's not like some distant company that he never talked to. And we were able to talk through like some ingredient concerns. We were able to talk through just a list of things that we can bring straight to the CEO, who is a Christian CEO, and her dad founded the company, Jerry Brassfield, who is a Christian founder of the company.
To most people, hearing that the founder or the CEO of a company is Christian is kind of irrelevant. Like, what does that have to do with anything? But he is making it relevant over and over and over in these Zoom calls because it's a faith manipulation tactic, like I keep saying. He's trying to appeal to other Christians on the basis that these NeoLife people, they're good people. They're believers too. They're one of us. And therefore, you can trust them. They wouldn't lie to you. They wouldn't lead you astray. They are selfless people that are really just looking to help you. It was a really heavy undertone of that first call, and it plays a massive role in this one too, that the CEO, the founder, Allan, Nicole, Cole, and Savannah, they're all Christians, they're all great people, and they're here to extend an opportunity to you out of the goodness of their Christian heart. And in the context of this being an MLM company, that doesn't really match up. This is not a selfless thing. It cannot be a selfless thing, because the only reason we're all gathered here today is because they want to recruit you to make money off of you, not for your own success, but for their own success. All of it is very contradictory. But also, what I really wanted to point out is that it's notable that he said he just got out of a meeting with NeoLife's CEO. Typically, in an MLM, you don't get access to the CEO unless you are worthy, unless you've proven yourself by achieving a certain rank or a certain income level, like you're bringing the company a lot of money and success. I think it's really telling that Cole just joined this company a few weeks ago and he's already gotten the CEO's attention. To me, this indicates a pretty well planned out operation going on here, to the point that the CEO has been made aware of it. They're clued in to the fact that NeoLife has just acquired these mega influencers with this pool of millions of followers that's going to do wonders for the company because they can recruit a ton of fresh meat really, really quickly. This is highly unusual for somebody who just joined an MLM company to already be in cahoots with the CEO. And that's because this is a highly unusual situation. situation. It's not every day that a big influencer joins an MLM scheme.
So we're gonna go through just a few quick questions. Some of the most popular questions that came in through the emails. We're gonna have 12 questions that we're gonna go through as quickly as we can. Hopefully get done with this in 30 minutes or less, because I know everyone has got stuff to do. So is this really exclusive, or was everyone invited into the 50K or 100K clubs? If you guys aren't familiar, 100K club just means that we're myself, Allan, and Nicole, our integrity is on the line. Like, this isn't like a joke. This isn't for talk. This is like, we really want to build out a team of people that it would be so incredible if a year from now, 2 years from now, we have 20 to 50 people who are literally making $100,000 or more annually. That's what a 100K club is. And there's a bigger commitment to that. We literally only invited, we only shot an email out to 20 people based off of the applications that you guys sent in. There's only so much that we could tell from the application. What's awesome about this opportunity is that whether you were invited into the 20K, the 100K, 50K, or neither of those, and still invited, that you determine where you end up based off of performance base. This isn't Cole likes so-and-so from so-and-so, wherever, or Cole's inviting his sibling or his whatever it is because he has some connection with them. This is you. This is, how much work you put in, how much what your results are, and even if you weren't in the 50K or 100K, it will move you into that group based off of you. All that to say was this, we did not invite everybody into the 50K or 100K. This is a legitimate opportunity, but given the scope that so many people were interested in, we did adjust some things just based off of how we felt led in conversation and prayer and thoughts of how we could help you guys scale the best that we could.
You'll remember from the first video that we did talk about this 50K club. You won't remember any talk of the 100K club because this is the first time I'm hearing about it. They didn't say anything about a 100K club in the first Zoom call they hosted, so I'm wondering if that's something they decided to add on after the fact. But you'll remember that the 50K club was this select group of about 20 people that they chose to be personally mentored and trained by the LABRANTs and Blaines themselves on weekly Zoom calls. These were the people that showed the most promise on their application answers, and it's called the 50K Club to represent the claim that they're going to coach you on how to make $50,000 a year from NeoLife. But remember, they can't actually promise that you're going to make that much at all, and it's against the company's code of conduct to be making an income claim like this. And based on the company's own income disclosure statement, only 6% of people in the whole company make more than $500 in a year. It's actually more likely that you're going to spend more of your own money purchasing product for yourself than you're ever going to make back, so yikes. But nevertheless, they reviewed the 400 plus applications they got, and they assigned some people to the 50K club. It sounds like they assigned some extra special people to the more exclusive 100K club that we're just hearing about. And then to everybody else, they basically said, you're still invited to join our team. We're not going to turn you away because we're not going to turn down the opportunity to make money off of you, but you just didn't show enough promise based on your application answers that you're going to be one of our top workhorses, so therefore you're not invited to these special clubs to be personally coached and mentored by us. But if you can prove yourself by working hard and making us a lot of money, then you can earn your way into these special clubs, and then we'll start paying attention to you. The question that was initially posed was, is this really an exclusive opportunity, or was everybody invited? Cole danced around that question for 2 minutes, talking in circles. I cut some of it out actually, but the answer is yes. All 400 plus applicants were invited to join NeoLife in some capacity. Because of course they were. It's an MLM after all, where anybody with a pulse is encouraged to join. But only a handful of special people were chosen to have the honor of being close to the LABRANTs and the Blaines themselves. Oh, and one more thing. Here at the end, he tries to make it seem like they got way more applications than they were expecting, so they prayed about it and they decided to adjust their plan to offer a spot to everybody. I call bullshit on that. This was the plan all along. They were never going to turn you away if you wanted to join their team. They just framed it as something that was exclusive in the beginning to increase interest. This is a well-known strategy in the world of MLMs to make people believe that there's limited spots available because people always want what they can't have. But on the back end, you know full well that you're not going to turn any of these people away, and whoever expresses even an inkling of interest is going to be invited to join. This idea of limited spots is a complete lie. It's a way to manipulate you into believing that you are special and that you were chosen for this.
So I know that depending on what you're invited to, how how network marketing works is there can be an investment with growing any business. There's likely some kind of an investment. So I know that that's scary. That turns people off. We totally get it. I have family who is interested in network marketing because of the upfront investment. So this by no means is us trying to oversell you on anything. This is just the current opportunity that we have for those who are interested. And obviously, depending on your level of interest, like myself, whenever I did it under Allan, I was very interested. So I jumped into what his current 100K club was, which how network marketing works is there's just levels and there's tiers, just like any business, but you can kind of jumpstart it by investing more upfront. And it's an investment in yourself. It's an investment in the product. But what's great about this is instead of investing in like Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, whatever it is, you're investing in products that you're likely using anyways elsewhere, and you're spending your money elsewhere anyways. So that's where we saw it as a very hopeful opportunity.
Now, this is interesting. He's taking a strange detour into talking about the cost and the upfront investment. That wasn't what the question was about. They were just asking, was everybody invited or not? But he's feeling the need to almost preface or caveat this pitch or this answer by saying, all businesses require an investment, and there's levels and tiers to this business that you can, quote, jumpstart by investing more upfront. That phrasing is very concerning. That indicates a pay-to-play situation. I bet you that Allan and Nicole on the other end of this call are like, no, don't say that. Don't say that. Cole is very, very new at this. He's still learning what to say and what he can't say or what he shouldn't say. But what he just alluded to is that the more money you spend up front, the more successful you're gonna be. But I'm here to tell you that's not how any of this works. That's not how the NeoLife compensation plan works. It doesn't say anywhere that you're gonna be more successful in NeoLife if you invest $1,000 than you would be if you invested $100. So why is Cole going on this weird tangent then? Well, it's because if you're invited to the 50 or 100K clubs, you're going to be pressured by the LABRANTs and the Blaines to spend way more money up front than the people who were not invited to these clubs. And this is Cole's way of trying to make you believe that your success in this opportunity is directly correlated to how much money you invest initially, and that you're personally going to benefit from investing more, and that it's in your best interest to do something like that, when in reality, the only people benefiting from you spending more money are the LABRANTs and the Blaines. This will actually come up later in the call. Allan reveals verbally how much money you're going to be expected to spend if you were invited into those 50 and 100K clubs. And let me tell you, the numbers are absurd, which is kind of why I believe that Cole is prefacing all of this at the beginning, right? He wasn't asked about this. This doesn't really fit into the conversation we're having right now. So him bringing this up kind of out of place indicates to me that he might be feeling insecure about it.
Why did we change the original plan of just 20? This was kind of answered in question 1, but we didn't feel right about turning any qualified person away.
Yeah, because you'd never turn down the opportunity to make money off of people. If you have over 400 people lined up saying they're ready to join your team today, you're not going to turn them away and cap it off at 20. This is a numbers game after all, more the merrier.
But we didn't feel right about turning any qualified person away from a killer no strings attached discount on much needed product, health solutions, and the 90-day money back guarantee that they come with, the ability to create a recurring income stream for your family, which is the heart behind why we are doing this rather than any other income opportunities. We have wanting every qualified applicant to be able to come to an in-person event, NeoLife events with us and meet us in person and grow your company in person. Desire everyone to get plugged into the phenomenal Christ honoring NeoLife family and community that we're going to be building in and through this, and the ability to work your way into our live small group coaching and mentorship groups. So we wanted that opportunity to be open to everyone who is interested. And again, this is our first time doing this. This is, I mean, not our time. Allan and Nicole do this. They've been doing this their entire lives, but our first time doing this where we put it on social media and had 900 people in a Zoom call and trying to figure out what the best way to talk to each of you individually is.
Notice how he was reading from a script like a robot with all of those selling points. He said, we're not going to turn any qualified person away because of boom, 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 and he just reads down the list. And to me, it feels like that list was clearly written for him, likely by Allan and Nicole. And I feel bad nitpicking this about him because I know that public speaking can be really nerve-wracking and I empathize with that. But you'll notice that he's either reading from a script like a robot or he's fumbling over his words, he's stuttering, he's he's talking in circles, and it's really hard for him in these Zoom calls to just get to the point. And my reason in bringing this up is that he's clearly not a seasoned MLM guy yet. He hasn't rehearsed his talking points. You'll see later in the call when the Blaines take over to answer some questions, they are very to the point. They're very well rehearsed. They're very convincing. They know their lines. They've been regurgitating some version of these talking points for years and years at this point. They're very good at it. They're seasoned salespeople where Cole is not yet. When you're listening to Allan and Nicole talking, you can see firsthand how they are masterful at their craft and how they have successfully manipulated the LABRANTs. And we're watching in real time how they're training Cole to say and do things to be able to manipulate others in the same way that he was manipulated by them. He hasn't had much practice at this point. He's still relying on a script, but soon this sales pitch is going to become a second nature to him, just like it has for the Blaines.
So at the end of this, Allan and Nicole will be giving you their phone numbers, which is so generous. I mean, you can talk with them directly. Their Instagram DMs. They've, I think, been in contact with many of you guys who aren't even on here. And there will be a way to get directly in contact with me too, for those of you who are that much more serious.
This comes up again later, but he kind of just hinted at it, that they are dangling the ability to get into direct contact with Cole through his personal cell phone number as a motivation for people to work hard. You'll get to have direct access to me if you can prove that you're really serious about this. That is so gross and slimy.
So I'll let Allan and Nicole take it away with the rest of the questions, as they are coaching me, so they know even more than I do.
Perfect. Thank you, Cole.
Thank you.
We'll try to be brief, but we'll also try to be as thorough as we can on the other 10 questions that we have most commonly run into from talking to many of you. And I see some familiar names and faces here on the screen. Hello. Nicole and I are in a hotel room here in Lynchburg, Virginia today, getting ready to speak and do a health seminar, health workshop, I guess you'd call it, here at Liberty University this evening. Which is fun fact, one of the people that's already joined the 100K club a couple days ago is a Liberty University student, and we're going to get to meet him here in a couple hours. And any guest that he may be bringing, he and his fiance bringing to this event. So that's pretty cool little fun story.
It's great to meet all of you, by the way.
Yeah, for sure.
Him mentioning that they're currently at Liberty University to host a health seminar is relevant because Liberty University is a private evangelical Christian university. Given that NeoLife sells health and wellness supplements, I'm assuming that this health seminar is really just one big NeoLife pitch. And this is a pitch being given to young Christian students hosted at their university. Many problems with this. Number one, MLM pitches run rampant on college campuses because you're pitching to people who might not know what an MLM is, don't have any prior experience with it, and they also might be at a crossroads in their professional trajectory. How many of us did a year or two of college only to realize, I'm actually not interested in this career path that I picked at 18 years old. I actually want to do something else. I did that. I ironically started in business administration, and then I switched to education and teaching in my second year of college. College is a very vulnerable and fragile state for young people who are in the midst of figuring out what they want to do with the rest of their lives. And people in MLMs know this, and they take advantage of it. The second problem is that they're undoubtedly going to be using faith manipulation to prey on these poor college kids. They've already got that common ground and that inherent trust that this pitch is coming from one Christian to another, that they're good, upstanding, God-honoring people who would never lead you astray, and they're just here to help you. Allan and Nicole are going to come in here and give the whole spiel about how it's a Christian founder and a Christian CEO and a Christian company, and how God called them to this opportunity, and how they've prayed about it, and how they're here to give this opportunity to you. It's a recipe for disaster for the college students. It's not a recipe for disaster for the Blaines. They're going to benefit really heavily from this, but it's at the expense of the vulnerable college students they're about to recruit. And how much you want to bet that they're also going to throw out the fact that they have just secured the LABRANTs on their team too. No doubt in my mind, they're going to name drop these massive social media influencers that these college kids likely know about as a selling point to sucker them into NeoLife. It's so gross. I can't get over how manipulative all of this is. Anyway, the Liberty University thing isn't that relevant to the Zoom call itself, but I couldn't help but interject when they said that that's where they were going to be doing a presentation, because it makes perfect sense.
So Cole hit, I'm looking at notes here. So the first FAQ, is it really exclusive? He hit that. Number two was, why did they change? Why did he and Savannah change the program to more than 20? He hit that. Only I think one person asked us that, but The other one was this was pretty common. Like, what would we actually be doing? So many of you have zero experience in network marketing. That was one of the questions on the application, which didn't matter. And it doesn't matter. Good news, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter if you've had prior experience in an MLM because they quite literally do not care about that. It's not a requirement. They care about if you're a warm body with enough money to sign up. And that's a concern because you'd think that if this was a legitimate job opportunity, they would be very selective on who they're going to hire on. I use hire on in quotes because they're not actually hiring you, but they would be selective about who they would like to recruit onto their team. If they're not being selective, that is a signal for you to run. That's probably why they pretended to be selective initially, but then they bait and switched you and they ended up inviting everybody anyway.
So a lot of the question was, what are we going to be doing? And for sake of time, we can't, we can go ahead and give you training on what you're going to be doing.
They're not going to answer
it. We will, starting Monday, after Saturdays, or probably starting Saturday actually, but for sure starting like next week. We've got training courses built out. We have live weekly calls, even for those of you that come in at the $75 level plus whatever product you want, like what we call the $300 level, like if you're not 50K or 100K.
The question was, what are we actually going to be doing in NeoLife that's going to make us all of this money? And he goes, well, for the sake of time. Spoiler, he's never going to answer the damn question. So I'll answer it for him, okay? If you're going to make good money in NeoLife, you're going to have to recruit a lot of people. You know that, I know that, that's not a secret. How many people are we talking? Well, Allan and Nicole have a team of 12,000 people below them, if that gives you any idea. But exponential math tells us that it is impossible for every person who joins NeoLife to have a team as big as Allan and Nicole. Because if you recruit 5 people who recruit 5 people who recruit 5 people, you would surpass the population of planet Earth in just 15 cycles. That's why he's dodging the question. He can't come out and be honest and straightforward with you and say, well, what you're really gonna be doing is recruiting, because then everybody would know that this is not a sustainable business model and they would lose interest. So instead he goes, well, for the sake of time, we can't really get into it right now, but don't worry, we're going over all of that in the training calls that you get access to once you pay to sign up first. And then he quickly confirmed right there at the end, I don't know if you caught it, that those who were not invited to the 50 or 100K club, that's what they're calling the $300 tier, because that's how much it's going to cost you to join at a minimum. So if you're a bottom of the barrel teammate member for them paying $300 to join, you can only imagine how much they're going to tell you have to pay to be a part of their 50 and 100K clubs. We'll get to that later.
We have weekly training calls that we provide. Nicole and I have been doing this for the weekly training calls. We haven't missed a week in I think 7 years or something like that. So you still get that, you still get the video, still get the website, you still get the free app, you get all the stuff that's free. We don't charge, we do not make money off of our team. When we host 3-day events for our team, retreats, 1-day events like we're doing in Nashville, March 29th, what we charge is significantly less than what it costs us. We are subsidizing everything because we believe so much in what we're doing and we want life transformation to happen.
The Blaines are sitting here and acting so selfless and saying point blank that they don't make money off of their team, which is a lie. Yes, they do. That's how MLMs work. That's why we're all here today, Mr. Allan Blaine, because you are trying to recruit us to make money off of us. It might be true that they're not charging their teammates extra money for the training they provide, but they're absolutely making money off of their teammates' efforts within this MLM scheme. So get out of here with that performative generosity. It disgusts me.
I don't want to try to say what will you be doing and try to explain it all right now, but essentially this is what you'll be doing. We have a big vision to become the #1 personal growth and development company in the world, using this as a platform to reach the world for Christ. People are dying for physical health solutions. They're dying for financial solutions and community and the other things we offer. But if we would just focus on health for a moment and income, every business, think any business, is all about conversations, whether they happen online, whether they happen in person, whether they happen at the store. Every business is about conversations, right? So a company has a choice to choose whether they're going to pay, movie stars and actors and athletes and Super Bowl ads and billboards and all this money, hoping they get sales of shoes or whatever, apps or whatever they're selling, or they can save all that money and wait till something sells and then give a referral or a commission, whatever you want to call it, to the word of mouth person that told somebody about it, right? And every major, not every, but many major Fortune 500 companies are trying to tap into this power of referral marketing, word of mouth marketing, social marketing, call it what you want. It works. So refer a friend and get a free whatever, $100 off your AT&T, or, everyone's trying to do it because it works. It really works when you have a product that works. And that's what we've experienced over the last 10 years of building this business. So your job, if you will, is to grow your business. How do you grow your business? You get more partners. You don't have to get partners, by the way. You don't ever have to recruit another promoter. And we have people in our organization making 6 figures recurring just on customers. So if that's what you want to do, great. But if you want to make 6 figures a month, or just a significant income, you're probably going to want to build a team. Besides, it's kind of fun helping people make money. As fun as it is helping them get healthy.
I cannot stand this claim that you don't have to recruit people to be successful. It is one of the most dishonest, insidious things these people say. He gave the example that there's somebody on his team making 6 figures a year just from recurring commissions from product sales. That's great for them, but that is highly unusual. That's an uncommon experience, which is why he has the example of, oh, I can cite this one person on my team of 12,000 people who makes a good income just off of selling the products and not recruiting. But then he follows it up immediately by saying, oh, but if you want to make really good money, like 6 figures a month, then yeah, you're probably going to have to recruit. So actually, he does kind of reveal it right there, exactly what you're going to be doing in NeoLife. You're going to be selling, but more importantly, you're going to be recruiting.
People say, do I have to have a big following like Cole and Savannah? We don't. We don't have any kind of following like Cole and Savannah. And you might say, oh, well, 50,000 followers on Instagram's big. Well, maybe to some, but we had 200, maybe 300 Facebook friends when we started. We had 0 Instagram when we started 10 years ago. So we didn't have a following. Most people in our organization don't even have, 2,000 followers on Instagram. That would be the norm in our business.
Yeah, you don't have to have a big social media following to be successful. You just have to recruit somebody with a big social media following instead. I cannot with this. How can he take himself seriously? How can you say, oh, you don't need a lot of followers when you have literally strategically recruited somebody with arguably the most followers on the internet? Combined, the LABRANTs on all of their social platforms, we're talking tens of millions of followers. It's absurd. This is insanity. And sure, technically, it's not a requirement for you to have a lot of followers to join NeoLife. They're certainly not going to turn you away for something like that, like I keep saying, but it absolutely does give a massive advantage if you do, or if you have team members who do. We are seeing that advantage and that upper hand playing out right here in front of our eyes. All Cole had to do to get 900 people on a Zoom call to listen to his pitch, and out of those, almost half of them expressed interest in joining, was to make one Instagram story slide where he basically said, I'm looking to help people make money. Shoot me an email if you're interested. Getting 400 people who want to sign up was instantaneous for Cole, okay? Now think of how long it would take you to personally find 400 people to sign up under you. It's impossible because you don't have millions of followers on social media to prey on.
We're committed to showing the world how to do network marketing right. We're not out to prove network marketing is a great industry. It is a great industry. We just want to limit the number of people that go, oh, I would never do one of those because of their friend, girlfriend, or their mother or their father or whoever they saw do it wrong, and turned them off. It makes us sad, because with the right company like this, it's the most amazing opportunity for the average ordinary person to create an above average extraordinary life like we have been able to do by God's grace, not because we're special, not because we had a big following, not because we knew how to sell, not because of anything. But awesome products, awesome company, and people that would show us the way like we want to do for you. So we were hungry, willing, and coachable. And that is a requirement for success in anything, honestly.
Isn't it funny how members of every MLM company insist that their company is the best and that it's all the other companies out there that are the bad ones and they're giving the industry a bad reputation? Hate to break it to you, but not all of your companies can be the best. It's very possible that they all just suck equally.
Okay, moving on. Number 5, do you think I can really succeed with a full-time job? I've heard this a lot. It's a common question we hear all the time. I'm homeschooling 3 children, or in our case, 6 children back in the day. Our baby's a senior now. She's, our oldest is 30, but we homeschooled for 18 years. And it's like, do you think I can do this? And the answer is yes. Nicole homeschooled 6 children. I worked 2 states away in a 7-figure income, by the way, that I gave up when we were only making $100,000 a year in NeoLife in 2016. That was part-time in 16 months. Well, that kind of answers this question. I had a full-time job 2 states away, jet setting back and forth, running this $40 million company, making an incredible income, working 60 hours a week. My marriage was hurting. My health was hurting. My mental health, more than anything, was hurting. A lot of things were hurting, and my children. And And so that was one of the big attractions to me and to Nicole to start this business on the side. It was very part-time, but we were intent, we were focused, it wasn't a hobby. We treated it like a business, and we worked hard. And I'll make no mistake, we worked hard. 16 months, it was a 6-figure income. I quit my job, didn't care that I was taking a pay cut, came home full-time to be a full-time father and husband. And I've never regretted it since. I said, if I never get back to that income, I don't even care. But I believe we will, because we did this part-time in 16 months, and God is blessing this company. And it has been a tremendous blessing, and we have grown it significantly since then.
These kinds of responses to the question of, can I really make a full-time income in this MLM, are really shallow, because all they're saying is, yeah, of course you can. I'm proof. I did it. I made this much money in this amount of time, and therefore you can too. This is a very, very weak answer. I don't want to know if you did it. I already know that you make a good income. I want to know how likely it is that I'm going to make a good income. But they won't tell you that. They won't answer that question, because if you look at the facts, if you look at NeoLife's income disclosure statement, you'll see that actually only 1% of people in the entire company make 6 figures or more. And Allan and Nicole are part of that 1% because of how many people they have recruited. And as we talked about, it's not going to happen for you. You can't recruit as many people as they have statistically. Just because it is possible to make good money in NeoLife does not mean it's anywhere near probable. And people in MLMs really get stuck on that. They love to tell you what's possible based on their own personal testimony of success, but they shy away from telling you what is probable, what happens to most people who join the company, and therefore what's most likely going to actually happen to you, which is you're going to lose money.
By the way, do you know this network marketing pays out $200 million a day? $200 million a day is paid out to promoters like us all around the world every day by network marketing companies.
I wasn't able to find a credible source for that statistic. I don't know where he got that from, but if we assume that it's true, I would be more interested in the distribution of that money. Who's the majority of that $200 million a day going to? It's going to the handful of people at the top of their companies because they victimize the most other people, and that's the problem. I don't care that the industry is paying out $200 million a day if all of the money is going to the top recruiters to make them richer.
And one more fun fact. I'm going to say this. There are more 6-figure income earners, female let me say it this way. Of all the female 6-figure income earners in the world, most of them got there through network marketing. So it's just an incredible industry we're super passionate about. Unfortunately, not all the companies in it are like any industry. They're not all amazing, but the industry is incredible.
Not this freaking statistic again. This makes me want to pull my hair out the number of times I've had to debunk and address this on my channel. Oh my God. The stat he is referring to that is spewed everywhere you go in the multi-level marketing industry is that 80% of women who make 6 figures do it through network marketing. I really hate to burst your bubble with this one, but this is a false, made-up statistic. Nobody knows where this originated. It's like a bad game of telephone. Somebody made this up one day and it spread like wildfire. It has been constantly misconstrued within the MLM community for years at this point. And it's come up in so many of my other videos because people from all different companies love to regurgitate this because it sounds really impressive. What do you mean that 80% of women making a 6-figure salary are doing it in an MLM? That's crazy. That sounds too good to be true. That's because it is. I have yet to find a credible source for where this statistic came from. Some people believe that the original stat that this was derived from in this bad game of telephone is that of the people who make 6 figures in an MLM, 80% of them are women. And that makes a whole lot more sense contextually because most of the people who get involved with MLM companies are women. So therefore, proportionally, yeah, it makes sense that most of the people who do well in the MLMs are women because that's what makes up the population anyway. Point being, Allan is continuing to spread misinformation here. That statistic is a lie, and it's something that people in all different MLMs are trained to say. Similar to how everyone in their MLMs will claim that their company is the best, right? It doesn't mean that it's true. It's just something that everyone tends to say to make their opportunity look as good as possible, at whatever cost. Lying, apparently.
Number 8, can I really create a full-time income, and how long will it take? Kind of answer this too. Yes, you really can. How long will it take? I can't answer. We've set with Cole a plan in place to help you get to 50K a year, 100K a year in that 2 to 3 year window, 1 to 3 year window. Let's say that 1 to 3 year window. Some will do it in 1 to 3 year window. And we have the utmost confidence that you can do that. But I will say, we've had people that joined us 10 years ago, right when we started, almost 10 years ago. They still haven't done it. So it is going to be whatever you put into it. And I just want to make that clear. I think Cole did a great job on last Friday's Zoom covering that point.
Whether you're open for business or not.
Yeah.
We are the business. We take it everywhere. So it's like, oh, I'm not going to do it today. So you just have to have that mindset. And that's one thing when we first started, we had that mindset that we're going to take this business everywhere, whether I'm at the post office or the grocery store or wherever, church. So
Sounds
100%.
miserable.
And I'll just add to that, that doesn't mean we went and just spewed on everybody that we came in contact with, just in case that hearing that makes you think that, not at all. But we just paid attention and we listened for needs. All that to say is, I've learned I care about people, to learn to care about people. And that's all Nicole's saying. You are your business. So wherever you are, online or offline, if you listen and you start tuning in to hear, you're going to hear needs. And then you have a choice, just like we do it, whether we're going to share the good news of the gospel with somebody. Do I invite them to learn about it or do I not? But now you'll have a reason to invite them to a solution that you now have with NeoLife, not for their salvation. That's something different, but for their health or for their financial needs, or if they're lacking community.
They listen for needs everywhere they go, and they are their business, which means that they're open for business wherever they go. When I hear something like that, I take that to mean that they're always on the hunt for opportunities to insert themselves where they're not necessarily welcome. And this is one of the most downright cringy aspects of being a part of an MLM, is that your mindset shifts. You're now always looking at people, everybody you come in contact with, as a dollar sign, as an opportunity for you to make money. And you've become conditioned to pitch people in very inappropriate situations, and you can't see how it's inappropriate because you've been conditioned. It's like you lose a little bit of your social awareness and your pride when you join an MLM. Everywhere you go, you're on the hunt, you're seeking people out, you're listening for needs, you're trying to insert yourselves in the hope that you can make money. This comes up a lot in my MLM horror stories series, where viewers will write in their really uncomfortable experiences of somebody in an MLM approaching them and inserting themselves and giving them a pitch when it wasn't welcomed. One recent example that comes to mind is that of a Mary Kay rep who was trying to sell makeup to the funeral home director to use on their deceased clients, and she was doing so in front of family members who were there making funeral arrangements for their loved ones. There was another story I read a while ago of somebody who was at some kind of public tourist attraction, just like admiring the view, and somebody selling supplements came up to them and essentially said to them, "You look depressed and like you could lose a bit of weight. I've got the supplement for you." These are not normal or natural ways to interact with people. This is cringy and this is unacceptable. You're not listening for needs to help other people. You're looking for opportunities to make yourself money. And shocker, that really rubs people the wrong way, wouldn't you know it? So it's funny that they're saying that you can make a really good income in NeoLife if you want to. It depends on if you adopt that mindset of always being open for business or not, and making sure that you're really taking the business with you everywhere you go. That's how you can be successful, which also kind of ruins the illusion that this is a way to make good money with pretty little effort in the pockets of time in your day. It's actually a lot of effort. You're never clocked out of this. You're never not on the hunt for your next downline member or customer, even if you're grocery shopping or at church on the weekends. That does not sound fun. I don't know anybody who would actually want to live like that.
So what's in it for Cole and Savannah and Allan and Nicole? This was asked. That's a fair question. This is number 9 of 12. So what's in it for us? Same thing that's in it for Cole and Savannah, to impact lives. Do we make money? Of course we make money. Just like a good real estate broker that sets up a brokerage and does a slam up job of supporting his or her realtors, teaching them, training them, mentoring them, wanting them to win. If they go out and crush it, the realtors go out and crush it, say they have 100 realtors working for them. If they go out and crush it and they succeed and create amazing lives for their family, of course that broker gets a little percentage of everything they make, and fairly he or she should. He's taking the risk of mentoring and teaching and coaching, or she is, without any guarantee that they'll ever sell a home. And that's the same thing here. We will be financially rewarded only if we help you guys win. Only. if we help you win.
Exactly. Your success is not up to you. It's in their best interest to help their teammates succeed because they don't make money unless the people below them are also doing well. That's just a fact of how MLM compensation plans are structured. Generally speaking, you cannot be successful in this business model on your efforts alone. You have to rely heavily on those you have recruited. Everyone's stacked on top of each other, and so if somebody in there is not pulling their weight, then everyone else suffers, which, as you can imagine, creates a very toxic environment, one where the uplines invest a lot of their time training, or in my opinion, brainwashing the downline members into staying in the MLM because their own personal income depends on that. The Blaines say that they host Zoom calls every single week to train their team. What could there possibly be to train on here? There's no secret to success. Just recruit as many people as possible. That's it. It's a really simple formula. They don't have new content to be training you on every single week, okay? So I wonder how much training is really going on here. I would bet that these regular team calls are more so just to keep the downline members brainwashed and therefore working harder towards the overall goal, which is to make Allan and Nicole, and now Cole and Savannah, as much money as possible. When you have a vested interest in your teammates doing well because your personal income depends on it, that can make for some pretty unhealthy relationship dynamics that foster toxic manipulation tactics.
And I'll just say one last thing about that. Cole and Savannah, they don't just need another business. They don't need another income source. Neither do we, but it is for the purpose of course, yes, we want to leverage our tools, we've talked about this, like Matthew 25 is clear, like we've all been given certain talents and gifts and abilities. Like, what are you going to do with them? And opportunities. Like, we learned about NeoLife. Nobody else I say nobody, right? 99% don't know the name. So like, we feel an obligation.
Again, with the performative selflessness, it drives me actually insane. I start seeing red when they start talking about how they're only doing this to help other people and that there's nothing possibly in it for them and that they don't need the money. It is 100% positively false. They do need the money. They're in this for themselves. It's a selfish act. They're doing it for their own financial gain. But to help themselves rationalize it so they can sleep at night, they tell themselves that we're just in this to help other people. It's despicable.
We're all gonna we do want to make money. We do want to make money for kingdom money. But at the same time, we get to choose how we do that. And by doing it this way, we get to take a bunch of people with us. When I ran a $40 million business, I had 50 employees, and I got to know some of the financial needs of some of my employees, and the marriage needs, and the health needs, and some of the challenges they were facing. And there's only so much I could do in this business. I could look any one of you in the eye and tell you, if you are willing and you are hungry and you are coachable, I will promise you. Not that you're going to make any certain level of income. I can't promise that, but I will promise you that you can make more money than we make in this business. No CEO can tell an employee that. No top of the pyramid of the government can tell, or the military can tell their subordinates that. No CEO can tell that in any corporation that you or your husband or wife have a job at. But in this business, Cole can say that. I can say that. I was joking with Cole this morning on this Zoom with the CEO, Kendra. She's amazing. Heart the size of Texas. First one up from our dining room table to start washing our dishes. Daughter of a billionaire? Like, really? Anyway, so I said, I thought we were going to be the first one to build this certain level size business in NeoLife North America. I really did. I just thought we would. I mean, I was okay if we weren't. I'm like, now it's going to be Cole and Savannah. And I'm okay with that. Like, that's what a cool model. Like, I'm going to be wanting to help them. We want them to pass us up and beat us. That's just more impact. Make more money than us. That's great. I know they're going to give most, if not all of it away anyway. So like, this is cool. So
then I interrupted Allan and I told him, and then I interrupted you and I said, it could easily be anybody else who signed up with us that then
exactly
then passes us up. And that's what a cool opportunity it is it's, I'm not automatically, and Allan's not automatically superior to me. I'm not superior to you. No one below you, you're not superior to them. Anybody has the opportunity to make of it what they will and become the top dog, as you call it, but while also helping others.
100%. I'm so glad you said that, because the people that shared NeoLife with us 25 years ago had been involved in the business for, I think, 8 years before that. And we make more money than them. So like we're living proof that it's not who's above who and who. To Cole's point, like maybe one of you is going to beat Cole to the top. Cole hopes you do. So do I.
It is technically true that you can surpass or do better or make more money or outrank the people that recruited you. Just because you're in somebody's downline doesn't mean that you're stuck doing worse than them or at a lower rank than them or making less money than them forever. You can outrank your uplines if you build a bigger team than them. And this goes back to the possible versus probable conversation from earlier. Realistically, who is going to build a bigger team than Allan and Nicole with 12,000 people below them? Or bigger than Nicole and Savannah, who are recruiting hundreds of their own followers? It's just not going to happen for you. Just because it is possible to outrank your uplines and the compensation plan allows for something like that, doesn't mean that it's anywhere near probable that that's going to happen. Okay, so as we jump into the next section of this call, he's about to very, very quickly gloss right over the investment amounts for the 50 and 100K clubs. And it's so fast and so out of nowhere that I wanted to give you a warning so that you're tuned into it so you don't miss it.
So anyway, that's what's in it for us. Number 10, I can't afford even to start as a promoter with the $300 option. We said $300 option for those that weren't invited in the $2,000 100K club or the $1,000 50K club, which most of those dollars are just bigger product investments, which I don't know if I had that written down as why so much product. That was a question. Don't let me forget that, Cole. That several people had, like, why so much product? Like, why? Like, that deserves it, and it's quick, but that deserves an explanation. But
if they invited you into the 100K club, they're asking you to make a $2,000 upfront investment. If you're invited into the 50K club, they're asking you to make a $1,000 investment. And if you weren't invited to either of those clubs to be personally trained by them, but you still want to join their team and be able to earn your way into the special clubs, then that's going to cost you about $300, as he was calling the $300 level earlier. This is the first time we're hearing the club numbers. Those investment amounts were not revealed in my last video, probably because the email example that I showed in the last video came from somebody who was not accepted into the 50 or 100K clubs, and the email was structured like, sorry you weren't chosen, but if you still want to join, you can pay $300. So I'm assuming that those who did get an email saying they were accepted into the clubs got similar instructions saying, congratulations, you're accepted, here's your club, here's your investment amount, visit this link to place your orders. But I didn't see those emails before. I don't have examples of those, and so this is the first time we're hearing about these insane investment amounts. And let me make one thing very clear. These are not NeoLife's investment requirements. These are just requirements set in place by Allan and Nicole themselves. All it costs to join NeoLife for the average person, you can go and do it right now today if you wanted to on their website, $75 fee, plus the cost of whatever products you want to buy. But Allan and Nicole have imposed these $300, $1,000, and $2,000 investment requirements to be a part of their clubs because they financially benefit from your purchases. The more you spend, the more money they make. You don't actually have to spend that much per the NeoLife policy. They're just telling you that you have to do that if you're going to be a part of their clubs. And you know what? Something clicked in place for me right here. You'll remember that there was a question on their Google form application that I showed you in the last video, and it asked them, how much are you willing to invest? And the options, looking back now with this context, were less than $500, $500 to $1,000, $1,000 plus, or $2,000 plus. How much do you want to bet that whoever said that they would be willing to invest $2,000 or more were automatically invited to be a part of their 100K club? And anybody who said they were willing to invest $1,000 or more were automatically put into the 50K club. And anybody who said less than $500 was put into this, like, you're not invited to the club, but you can still join our team if you want to category. Like, oh sweet, they're willing to invest $2,000, put them in that 100K category, make them pay $2,000. Because remember that this opportunity has nothing to do with skill or experience whatsoever. They admitted to that themselves on this call. They're not reviewing these applications to see who's the most qualified. They're looking to see how they can make the most money possible off these people in the shortest amount of time. And it is disgusting that they are framing this as something they are doing to help others. It infuriates me.
So for the rest of you that were invited in, and we called it the $300 option, it's $75 to become a promoter one time. You never pay that fee again. You don't pay that fee annually. And then the other 220, give or take, would be what to just get the health product we recommend, core nutrition you start as a family on, or as a single person or whatever on, because of the health benefits of it. It's pretty hard to promote something you don't believe in. And it's hard to believe in something you haven't experienced. And it's hard to tell a story from authenticity if you don't have an authentic story. And we're not about hyping things up that aren't real. And so that's why. And I've always said, if you lack resources and you don't have $300, I'm just using round numbers here. I'm just saying, I've had to look people in the eye and say, if you lack resources, and we've been there, then you've got to get resourceful. You've got to go. We've had people sell sewing machines. We've had people sell couches. Like
What?
$300. There is I'm not saying all of you can find a way to come up with 300. I'm not saying that, but I believe most of you could. If I had a $500,000 Ferrari, I'd sell you today, and you had to come up with it by midnight, and I'd sell it for 300. I'll bet most everybody could come up with it. And I know your belief level, it may not be there, and that's okay.
He is really out here encouraging people to sell their possessions to be able to afford to join their NeoLife team. This sends the message that you should be sacrificing whatever you have to come up with the money to be able to sign up. Let me tell you right now, if you can't afford the $300 to join, then you most certainly can't afford all the money that you're going to continue to lose after you join. These are supplements. You ingest them, you poop them out, and you have to buy more. Month after month after month, as long as you are involved in NeoLife. So if you have to sell your couch to come up with the $300 startup cost of your first month of supplements, what are you going to do next month to come up with that money? The money's likely not going to come from the NeoLife opportunity, I can tell you that. Most people in this company don't make a dime, so where is it going to come from? People like Allan and Nicole who are trying to suck you into this business opportunity, they'll frame it like, come up with the money, do whatever you have to do because this is an investment in your financial future. Do whatever it takes right now because you'll start making money really quickly and you'll be able to recoup those costs. But that's not factually how things end up happening most of the time. More often than not, you never see that money again, and now you're sitting on the ground in shame because you sold your couch.
So there is always a way. I just want you to know that. All right. Cole could make another story and get thousands more emails. So it's not about trying to convince you to do something you don't want, but you've come this far. You need to know that option. Number 11, I'm gonna kick it back to you, Cole. Why?
No, we're not moving on from that comment so quickly. What he just said is Cole could make another Instagram story and get another 1,000 interested people out of it. But you're already here, we've already done all this work, we've already selected you might as well join. That is a really revealing comment for him to make, almost like he's saying, we don't need you specifically, it would be really easy for us to find anyone else to replace you, but you've already made it this far, you're sitting on Zoom calls, you're filling out applications, we've already selected you, you might as well come up with the money to join. God, it is so slimy.
And number 11, I'm gonna kick it back to you, Cole. Why is so? Oh, I did have it. Why so much product required for the 50K and the 100K? We have experienced the people that have the greatest success believe the most in the product. What are you gonna do when you all business is conversation, right? You talk to somebody on Messenger, in person, at church, with your family member, whoever you talk to, who you know, love, and care about, and you want them to be healthy. You want them to have a better quality of life. And they say, what about that marine-based organic skincare line? I heard it's, manufactured in France and it comes from the archipelago waters and it's just incredible. It looks like it's amazing. And you're like, I don't know. It's okay. You don't have to use 80 products that NeoLife makes, but do you understand how the more you experience, the more your belief's going to rise and the more you can speak to it, it is going to affect your success. It is. Not to mention, it's just a fact of life. When we commit more, and money is a commitment, we take things more seriously. So that's the only couple reasons we said 100K club, you're going to pay the 75 and buy roughly $1,800 worth of product to use over the next few months, to use, not to sell, not to store in your garage, to use, to experience. We have home cleaners, we have skincare, we have nutrition. So it's not like we just have one product and you're buying, case pallets of some juice that you're going to get stuck with. And honestly, you could even return it all. So I hope you don't, but you can.
I understand what he's getting at with the reasoning behind why you're encouraged to buy so much product. You can't really sell something effectively if you've never tried it. I get that. However, placing a $2,000 order of product immediately upon joining is an unhinged thing to ask somebody to do. Because at this point, you still don't even know if you like the products yet. The smarter, more responsible approach would be to choose 1 to 3 products from the product lineup that you think would apply best to your life and that you would enjoy using the most. Try them out for a full month. Use the entire container of them. Then you're free to decide if you actually like the products well enough to promote and sell them. That's step 1. That should be the absolute bare minimum. Make sure you like the damn stuff before you try to sell it to others. And then slowly, one by one, increase the range of products from this company that you try. Build your repertoire at a reasonable and believable pace. If you join NeoLife today and you spend $2,000 on products and tomorrow you're saying that you love all of them, they're the best thing ever, and that we should buy them too, I automatically don't believe you. You've automatically lost all credibility. Here's an analogy. Let's say there is this makeup brand that I've never tried before, but they come out with a lipstick that is really intriguing and I want to buy it and I want to try it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to pick out the one shade that I like the best, that I think will flatter me the most. I'm going to take it home and I'm going to try it for an extended period of time. And only if I love it am I going to go back and buy more shades of that lipstick. And you know, the lipstick from this brand is really great. Maybe the foundation is too, or the eyeshadow, or the mascara. Maybe I'll try those. I'm going to ease my way into this. I'm going to proceed with caution because this is a brand I've never tried. I don't want to waste a bunch of money on something I don't even like. It would not make logical sense to go, oh, there's this makeup brand I've never tried. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to drop $2,000 on every shade of lipstick, on every product from the product line, and I'm going to try every single thing all at once. That's not normal behavior. That defies logic. But that is what the Blaines are encouraging you to do with NeoLife. And they're framing it in such a way that they're like, this means that you're more serious about it. The more you invest, the more serious you're going to be, the harder you're going to work. According to Cole, at the beginning of this call, he said that this is going to make you more successful, which is not true. That's not factual. And all of this is a major red flag because they want you to invest literally thousands of dollars into this company and agree to become a salesperson of their products on blind faith alone. And it doesn't matter if it's illogical, they're still going to encourage you to do that because that's how they make the most money off of you.
I'm just going to tell you. So that's the reason why. And number 12, finally, I'll kick it back to you. I know I went longer than I planned. I'm sorry, Cole. Will I have access to Cole's cell phone, texting, calling? Like I said, well, you'll have access to us. I couldn't answer that question because it's not my right to answer that question.
Yeah. Yep. So will I have direct access to Cole, text, and calling? So, first off, having access to Allan and Nicole truly is better than having access to me because they are training me. So don't think that if you don't have direct access, like this is my cell phone right here. I'm reading some of the notes that we jotted down. I don't have two phones. I don't have like a work phone, and we're just extremely normal people here. I'll show an Allan that I don't know if you guys can see right here. I got 606 unread text messages. So I was like, you know, dude, I don't want people messaging me that I can't get back with. So unfortunately everyone can't do that. And obviously for safety and security reasons, we got to be a little more cautious with who we give our direct contact out to. So it needs to be people that we know, again, this is a business that we know are committed to the business, to growing the business, and aren't just fans, don't just like us, don't just want to talk about whatever, but like are truly wanting to grow this business. So yes, for those who reach a certain threshold that we can tell that you're grinding, we haven't even put in place like what that threshold is. But for those who are like, hey, we've been doing this for 2-3 months and I've grown my business, you know, I started here and now I'm here. You take this serious, you know, we can tell that you take this seriously. Yes, you can have my number and text me with questions. You know, we'll hop on phone calls. I'm doing this just like you guys are doing this, which is cool. You know, I'm not asking you guys to do anything that I haven't done myself.
Again, this is proof that they are leveraging direct access to Cole as a way to motivate people to work hard in NeoLife and to prove themselves, to earn the right to get close to him. I do understand that it's not exactly safe to be giving your personal phone number to hundreds of strangers when you don't know what their real intentions are, but referring to himself as like, I'm just an extremely normal person over here and I don't want people who are just fans contacting me. It's really cringe. I understand what he's saying, but there was definitely a more eloquent way to put that wasn't so off-putting. The way he said it came across quite self-righteous. And again, it confirms that he knows about and understands that parasocial relationship that he has with his followers that are giving him the upper hand in NeoLife.
Yep, they're sharing. So this is Allan and Nicole's direct contact right here. I mean, this is so generous of them to share. I've sent people their way, and again, you guys have heard them. They're teaching and coaching me everything, but I'm not asking you guys to do anything that I haven't done myself. What I love about it being a Christian company is it's just, it's very similar to the gospel, right? It's, it can be difficult to explain something, but it's a lot easier to experience something, right? It can be hard to explain God. It can be hard to explain Christianity and the gospel. But once you experience the goodness of Jesus and the goodness of God, it changes everything. So I'm still relatively newer, but I'm looking forward to experiencing the goodness of all that NeoLife is. And And again, I'm not asking you to do anything that I haven't done. So I'm buying in and I'm being challenged and
making sure he gets one more opportunity to throw some faith manipulation in right there at the end as this is all wrapping up, making it seem like the goodness of NeoLife is something that just can't be explained. You have to experience it firsthand, and that's why you should join. Relating it to experiencing the goodness of God, trying to appeal to his fellow Christians on this call.
But if you reach a certain point in this company to answer that question, then yes, you'll have, I'll give you my number and we'll grow together. Because again, I only succeed if you succeed, and you're only going to succeed if people around you succeed. So it's this big win-win opportunity that we're trying to make happen, and it is happening globally. So it's one of those things, and I get excited about. It's going to happen with or without you. So again, we don't. NeoLife doesn't need me. NeoLife doesn't need Allan and Nicole. I don't need you. You don't need us. This is just, it's an opportunity for you.
He said this in the last call too, the whole like, we don't need you, you don't need us narrative. But literally right before he said that, he said, quote, I only succeed if you succeed. He contradicted himself in the same sentence. You do need us or you don't need us? Which one is it? I'm here to tell you he absolutely does need you. It's correct that he only succeeds or does well or makes money when the members of his team are also working hard. Despite all of this that he's saying, like, this is gonna happen with or without you. No, it's not. You're kind of a necessary part of this whole equation.
If you want to join, it's tonight at midnight is the deadline, just because we're getting going. So if you have more questions, please reach out and just make up your mind before then. If you don't want to do it, no pressure, because in honestly, probably in 3-ish months, a lot of you guys are going to be finding a lot of success. I'm looking forward to continuing to grow this. This is just like another ministry outlet for me where we can meet new people, we can pour into new people, and we can hopefully help people financially with their families and kind of teach them how to fish method versus just giving them a fish and feeding them for a day. And if this is successful, then we're going to throw out another Instagram story and get another 900 people on a Zoom, new people, and do it all over again and do it again and do it again and do it again. And hopefully it starts spreading like wildfire.
And there he goes, admitting that he's going to keep up this endless chain of recruitment by posting more Instagram stories in the future to suck in more and more people. Allan jumps in here one more time at the very end of this call to say something extremely cryptic and weird, and I have a theory about what's going on here. Let me show you what he says, and then I'll translate it for you.
If there's something that changes your mind about wanting to be in the 100K club, let us know and we will see if we can work that out. But for sure, those that were invited in the 100K club, if you take advantage of that invite, we talked about, some of in the future being making a way for you founding members of the 100K club to be able to receive some, and no one's going to build your business for you, but to be able to receive the biggest challenge some people have in this business is people. Cole and Savannah don't have a problem finding people. So for the founding members of the 100K club, you're going to have a rare opportunity in the future, once you've proven yourself, obviously, to be able to help get more people and just grow faster. So everybody has opportunity to grow fast. Nobody gave us anything. We did it. So you can do it too. You can start anywhere you want. I'm just saying it's a really unique opportunity that I wish I would have had. So with that being said, Cole, I just wanted to close with that.
This is the strangest little tangent tidbit of information that he's throwing in right at the end and then moving right along. It's a weird promo for some exclusive opportunity that the members of the 100K club are going to get. What he said was, quote, for the founding members of the 100K club, you're going to have a rare opportunity in the future, once you've proven yourself, obviously, to be able to help get more people and just grow faster. And he said that right after he made the comment, quote, the biggest challenge some people have in this business is people. Cole and Savannah don't have a problem finding people. This is an acknowledgement that in order to grow fast and do well in NeoLife, you have to recruit, but finding people to recruit is really difficult. So they're going to offer a special upper hand advantage to the people in the 100K club to help them recruit people more easily or more quickly. What is that upper hand exactly? We don't know. But this is what I'm speculating. This is completely my own conspiracy theory. I don't know if it's going to end up happening like this or not, but this is what it sounds like to me. I believe that Cole is going to continue to recruit hundreds of people from his following. But I think what they're going to do is, rather than taking those recruits and placing them directly underneath Cole in the first level of his downline, they're going to strategically take those recruits and give them to the members of the 100K club. This is a way to game the MLM system. It's called stacking, which means that you take your new recruits and you strategically place them somewhere in your organization and you give them to certain teammates in a way that benefits you the most. Because remember, he only does well if the people below him are also doing well. It does him no good, really, if he can recruit hundreds of people, if those people really struggle to find their own recruits. This whole thing only operates if you continue that chain of recruitment. So there does come a point where it becomes more beneficial for Cole to give his recruits to his teammate downline members than it would be to keep them for himself. The goal here is to build out a pyramid, right? But what you would have is Cole and then one line of like hundreds of people. You don't want that. You want a pyramid. You want those people to have their own, who have their own, who have their own. And so what I believe they're saying is they're going to take Cole's recruits and they're going to create their own pyramid below them. In many companies, this is against policy and you're not allowed to do this. However, I briefly skimmed through NeoLife's policies and procedures document and I couldn't find anything that says explicitly that this is not allowed. I did find this though that says you're not allowed to transfer teammates from one upline to another once they're already enrolled, but it doesn't say anything about strategically enrolling them under certain people in the first place. So who knows? I'm completely speculating here. That's just something I know to be true that happens a lot in other MLM companies to sort of cheat the system to do well. And when I go back and I rewatch Allan in this section and he's saying the hardest thing to do is to find people, but Cole has no problem with that. So if you're in the 100K club, we're going to give you an advantage to help you find more people. It really sounds like he's going to be stacking his recruits not only for his own benefit, but for the Blaine's benefit as well. But who knows? They did not explicitly say that. I don't have any evidence of that at this point. I just love a good speculation session. That's all this is. And here is Cole to close out this Zoom call.
That's awesome. Love it. Awesome. Well, hey guys, thank you for hopping on here again tonight at midnight. If you're interested, if you're not, no biggie. Thank you guys for hearing us chat, and we'll see you out there again. Cause this isn't like an entertainment, a fun thing. This is a genuine business opportunity. So I know that this isn't like as fun and exciting as some of the other content that we put out there. This is a lot more serious, but we've been blessed with a lot of cool opportunities. So this is just one of those that we wanted to share with you guys. So thanks for hearing us out. And if you're interested, reach out to Allan and Nicole. And remember, tonight at midnight's the deadline, and we're going to kick it off Saturday. All right. Bye, guys. Thanks for joining.
Bye, everyone.
What's funny is that at least 3 times throughout this Zoom call, Cole made sure to say, this is a legitimate opportunity. This is a genuine opportunity. And it's one of those things where it's like, if that was really true, you wouldn't have to keep stating it like you're trying to convince yourself that it's true. The opportunity should speak for itself regarding how genuine and legitimate it is. But him stating that over and over, it kind of almost gives you doubts about that. But in conclusion, I think it's been really fun to see how all of this is unfolding in real time. I think that there will continue to be more updates on this in the future, but generally speaking, a lot of this is really secretive and under wraps, and the only communications that are happening about this are in these private Zoom calls that I was lucky to get my hands on these first 2, but I don't know that I'm going to continue to get them. And considering that they're really not posting anything publicly on social media other than those really temporary Instagram stories trying to get people on these calls, I feel like it could be hard to really keep tabs on this. I hope I can, but we'll just have to see where this goes and see if Cole and Savannah are actually able to make something out of this. Because it seems like right now they've got quite a lot of interest from hundreds of people, but I don't know if that interest will be sustained. Typically with MLMs, once you get involved and you're in it for a couple months, you start to understand the true colors and you realize, okay, this is not something I want to be a part of anymore. I'm losing money. I'm not making any money. It's a lot of work. I just don't have the energy or the patience or the drive for it. And they kind of fade out and they quit. So it very well could be the case that a lot of people join this team up front. They cash out on that, unfortunately. But then as the months and years go on, this really starts to dwindle for them. It's not worth their time to put in the effort anymore. And I believe I said this in the last video as well when I was concluding it, that like, I almost envision a world where we never hear about this again. Cole and Savannah are not posting about this on their social media in the way that a person who joins an MLM typically would. When your friend from high school joins an MLM, it's everything they ever post about. They're shoving it down your throat with every post. Cole and Savannah aren't doing that. They don't have to do that. They haven't announced anywhere publicly that they've joined NeoLife, so therefore if they quit one day, they wouldn't have to make a public announcement of that either. I really do feel like this has the potential to just be a quick, limited time cash grab for them. MLMs are not sustainable. They're not something that people are involved in for an extended period of time. There is an expiration date to this. I don't think the LABRANTs will be in here forever, but that's okay. They don't have to because they've already got people joining with a $2,000 and $1,000 investment that they get to financially benefit from. They get to get in, make a lot of money really quickly, and then they can leave if they want to, and no one's harmed. Well, actually, a lot of people are harmed, just not them. And as I said at the beginning of the video, I really do believe that Allan and Nicole, they're the masterminds, they're the villains. What this is really an opportunity for them to further themselves in the NeoLife business, and Cole and Savannah just happened to fall for it. I still think that the LABRANTs accept some level of blame in this though, because now they're turning into the perpetrators. They were victimized and now they're victimizing others. I hope through these videos you were able to see some explicit examples of exactly what to look for in an MLM pitch and how to know if you're being pitched one. This had every single cookie cutter red flag thing that you should be on the lookout for. If you've never heard of an MLM before or you've never been pitched one, maybe you can at least take the knowledge from these videos, just tuck it in your back pocket. You might need it one day. I get emails all the time of people saying, I didn't know what an MLM was, but thanks to your videos or thanks to that Zoom call you showed me, I found myself in that same situation one day, months, years down the road, and I knew exactly what was happening. I could spot it, I could reject it, I could protect myself from it. And that's exactly the motive behind these types of videos. Educate yourself, protect yourself, stay safe out there. And with that, that's everything I have for you for today's video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I will try my very best to keep tabs on this kind of secretive situation if I can, and I'll be back with updates if there are any. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you in my next one real soon.